take accountability for what has passed and what will be. There's no time like present. So, for all of those with miles, there is. Do we have a moment of your time? We want to gain some perspective. Can we have a piece of your mind? What's going on, beautiful people? What's going on, Brian, Hector?
Yep.
Last week of Black History Month, man.
Yeah.
Last week, man, and
Yep.
you know, February's
Yes,
been
sir.
hasn't been a bad month, man. I mean, cold as expected,
Mhm. Yep.
but hasn't been a bad month, man. You know what? Exciting today, man. I end up going like to look for a car with my son today, and he ended up finding something that he was he was interested in. It seemed like it drive well and everything like that, so we picked it up. We picked it up, man. So that's kind of exciting, man. It for me it's exciting. You know what I mean? It's a
Oh
step in
yeah.
independence. It's a and he purchased it. He saved up his own money and purchased it with his own money, man. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So and it's so it's scary, right? It's scary because it's like, pretty soon this dude's gonna have the freedom to just grab the keys and just step out the door and take off. Like, so it's a scary thought, you know. But at the same time, it's like, it's the reason why I've been taking them driving. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason why I've been like really like taking time out of my day and pouring into them and overseeing them at to that point because they're about to be at an age where I can't oversee them no more. So now to me it's like they're at an age where I gotta be able to like watch them from kind of like just watch them sit back and watch them because after a while it's like they're just gonna be off on their own and I'm just gonna have to hear about it from somebody else. You know what I mean? If not them themselves. So
Right.
exciting times, man. Also scary, man. But I think I'm more excited than anything, man. And
I can agree with that, bro. Like that's a big milestone, bro. As a parent, because we know it's inevitable, it's coming, when they grow up. But growing up comes with, with all sorts of different labels and titles and looks, man. Because growing up could be, hey, you're brushing your teeth without me telling you, or growing up could look like, hey, we're not turning the night lights on no more. Growing up for you, bro, is you got a young man in a vehicle on the road.
yeah,
So
man.
yeah,
Man.
that's a cool thing, Frank. Like I love that, man, and I love that you said that you took all the time out of your day to do that because you knew it was coming, so you were preparing him for it. But not
Yeah.
only him, yourself, man, because you taught him how to drive, so you trust what you taught him, so that he can go out there and be safe. And that'll give you a little bit of
More
peace at
confidence.
night. You want
Sure,
to,
yeah.
like, because I know that time is coming for me in a couple of years, man, and I'm a little nervous. I won't lie about it, man. But at the same time, I welcome it, because it's coming. Whether I like it to or not, it's gonna come. And so I'd rather be prepared, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Man.
a little bit over a decade to go before
Yeah,
before I have to worry about that.
yeah.
Hey, my little nephew making big steps too, man. The other day he surprised me, man. I went to the bathroom behind him and found evidence that he went to the bathroom by himself. He ain't come look for nobody or nothing.
Hey, that's it. See, growing up looks different, man.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Put it on the seat yourself, man.
yeah,
You had to go get
yeah.
him back and go wash your hands, bro. You wash your hands now. Let's go. Come back here. There's a process we gotta follow here, man.
Yeah, that's all it is, man. Let them explore, but give them a little guidance along the way.
Yeah,
That's
man.
cool, man. I love that shit, bro. I remember like teaching Aiden how to, use the bathroom by himself, man, and it was fun, bro, because like he knew it was a big kid thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew,
Yeah.
like, oh, I could do this by myself, really. And like we made it, we made fun out of it. So we tossed a little Cheerio into the toilet and made it into a game, for him to
Yeah.
really kind of like feel like he could do that, man. And it was so fun, man, watching him just feel confident, feel like he can do that for himself. Don't have to tell nobody. And then when he's done, he'll come and tell me I just used the bathroom, and he's like so happy. It's like, what? Like, you did that by yourself, dude? Like, it's cool,
Where we
man.
got hype you
Growing
up.
up is dope.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, yo, it's
You
go.
know.
I'm gonna go. Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, I mean since we on the topic, bro, I was just gonna go back to when I was potty training my boys, man, and
Mm.
the younger of the two, Dylan, was a little bit like, I don't know. I think he just liked to move too much. He didn't really want to sit still and learn. But for him, I actually started like this whole incentive thing. Like, you know what I mean? Every time you go to the potty, pee or poop, you get one of them like them tattoos. Remember them tattoos you gonna put
Oh
on?
yeah,
He's ready to
yep.
put it on. And he loved that, bro. He loved that, man. So that's when like potty training for him ended up like turning into a quick thing. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
yo, you know, honestly, man, them times when they're small, yo, those are the times like you gotta enjoy it because the older they get, the less attention they give you. Honestly, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon they're gonna stop looking to you for anything. Like, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
We hope. we hope, right? We hope. You know what I mean. Pretty soon they stop looking for you less. You know what I mean. And
Yeah.
like, yo, you really do have to enjoy the time while it's there. Like, you know what I mean, because you know, thinking like, yo, there's always later. You know, I'm gonna build this up right now, and you know, I'll make up the time later. Like that junk ain't. You know, I mean, I read in a book. I can't remember which book it was. Maybe it was the one thing, but he was like saying, like, do you think like a party with a 5-year-old is the same as like partying with a 15-year-old? Like, you missed the fifth birthday. You think, you know, by the 15th birthday, you could party with him the same way as when he was 5? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
No, that's true. I'm experiencing that right now as we speak, man. Like, you know, Kate and we're having a really cool conversation, bro. And she put it in a way that made a whole hell of a lot of sense, bro. Like, you know, little kids, anywhere from like, you know, when they start to develop some consciousness, you know, and some awareness to about 11 or so, that's a kid. You know, and when they get to 12, that preteen stage up to about 17, 18, that's a teenager. And then beyond is an adult. We know that. But teenagers specifically have it hard, man, because they are still in that stage where they kind of want to be a kid, but they kind of want to be an adult too. But they're teenagers. So you have to talk to them as if you're talking to all three of those stages in life. You know, you have to know which one to navigate. The teenager knows it all. The adult part of them is humble enough to learn. The kid needs to be guided 100%. And so there are going to be a lot of opportunities where you know which one you're talking to if you're really paying attention. And it was cool because like my son is in that stage where he still wants to be a kid because he'll let his room get a little messy. You know, sometimes he'll stay up really late and have to wake up really early and suffer the consequence. But then there's other times I see him being responsible and being on time, being prompt and cordial. You know, and then there's times he's a teenager. Oh, I don't care. I know, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? So like, there's a real delicate balance between that, man. And it's, you know, it reminded me that, you know, just because I grew up and I'm an adult now, you know, all the problems that I have, you know, they're problems for an adult because I've grown up. But the problems that he has should never be minimized, should never be dismissed because they're real problems for him. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, first time
So,
experiencing.
first time experiencing it, right? So it's just like, you know, it's a good way to kind of take a step back and realize like, damn, yeah, I remember a situation similar to that when I was a kid. You know, how
Yeah.
did I handle that? How did I wish it got handled? Who was around to help me out? And so I learned, bro, like, yeah, just being patient with that, man, is so critical for, you know, for a teenage kid especially. But even like Brian, you got a little guy, man. Like, you have to be patient with him. This is his first time. So just because he doesn't get it right, you can't show any other emotion other than encouragement and happiness because they feed off of that. You know what I'm saying? And so it's so delicate, man. But like I said, Kate and I were having that conversation, bro. And I really realized like, man, I'm in the middle of that right now with my kid. And like having the opportunity to see him grow up, man, is it's a blessing, bro. It's a gift, man.
Yo,
You know, like,
you know what, heck, man, I wanna Since we on the topic, man, I want to like use this opportunity to like talk about a difficult situation. I guess I'm kind of currently still in a bit with my son's mother and his grandmother. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not I don't knock and I don't knock away any household love, but love can be like not debilitating. Debilitating the word I'm looking for. It can be stifling sometimes. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
where I'm taking the steps to like make sure he learns how to drive. And this I guess it's gonna get a little personal because I'm gonna let y'all in a little bit. But I'm taking the steps to get him to learning how to drive and stuff like that. It's like his. I understand that he's in between being a child and an adult, but I also understand the only direction from here is towards adulthood. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I know what it's like to be a dependent. I've been a dependent, you know what I mean? And I'm still a little more dependent than I would like to be, you know what I'm saying? So knowing this is like, yo, I want to make sure my kids avoid this roadblock, this obstacle, you know what I mean? I don't want them to feel like, yo, somebody's always gonna be here. Somebody should always be there to help you, but don't expect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Offer help when you absolutely need it. You know what I mean? Me and you got two working. Again, I'm all about teaching a man to fish, not giving them a fish. And that includes my own boys. You know what I'm saying? These guys
Yes.
are
Oh
moving
yeah.
towards manhood, so I need them. I need them to learn how to fish, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If I'm out here doing all the fishing for them and still feeding them myself, like I'm still putting out the work, so we can split one fish among three people. But if all three of us go work, we can all have our own fish. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like really heavy on the like when it's decision making time, letting them be a young adult. Like, and that doesn't mean like giving them too
Yeah.
much leeway, but that doesn't mean bottling them up, bottling them up neither. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Because I feel like every time I've had can I say it? Every time I have friction with his mom and his grandmother about I don't know, just some kind of decision. Their response is, "Yo, he's still a kid. He's still a kid." You know what I mean? Where my response is, "No, he's a young adult, and you need to stop like treating him as he's a kid." And I honestly wish, instead of us being combatant, we were on one accord because it makes it a little easier for the child to understand. Like, yo, there's one direction. But when you're giving him options and you want to treat him like a kid over here on this, but then then again he's confused. So I see my son in back and forth like where like, yo, can you come pick me up? Like when he could get home by himself, right? And they'll rush to wherever he is. And no, I don't not give my son a ride because I don't want to give him a ride. But bro, if you don't have to make me go out my way, don't make me go out my way, right? That's one of the things I've been trying to teach them. They want to still come pick him up whenever. So he utilizes that resources. That's him being treated like a kid. I can get around for myself, but I'm gonna just have somebody come pick me up. To me, that's choosing to be a kid. You get what I'm saying? Whereas opposed to like you let him get there on his own. You see that he makes it home by himself. You see that he got there by taxi, bus, cab, Uber, however. You get what I'm saying? He said to you, I was leaving my dad's house. And he said that 20 minutes ago, 20 minutes he walked in the door. These are the things we're supposed to be monitoring that. Like, yo, he's a man up. He does what he says he's going to do. I let him walk out the door by himself and he got home by himself. You know what I mean? So you give him less options to be a child. You get what I'm saying? And act more responsibly like an adult. Or make choices like an adult. Save your own money. You know what I mean? Put away for your car. You know what I mean? Yo, only thing that happens is you're going to appreciate that car a little more than if somebody gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's just how it goes. My younger son ain't stopped breaking TVs until I made him buy the last one. And that TV's still hanging up on his wall. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's
how you do it.
Parents, if y'all could get on parents, if we could get on one accord with these children, like, you know what I mean? Really, like, y'all really discuss, like, yo, what is the direction? What is the path? how are we gonna come to conclusions and for these problems? Because they're supposed to be at an age where you give them a little leeway. You tell them 9 o'clock, you can go out, but make sure you back in the door at 9 o'clock. That's their opportunity for them to gain trust and stuff like that. So that way, when they get their car and they're ready to go drive, and they say, "Yo, mom, I'm gonna go out. I'll be back by 10." Okay, all right. I know you usually be a young man of your word. You can go out, man. Make sure you're back here by 10. Cause it's only one direction from here. I like to make it clear, like, young man, listen. Yes, you could be. You do never lose your inner child, but physically, you're moving in one direction. Matter of fact, no, not even just physically. Mentally, you're moving in the same direction. You should be moving in the same direction too. Growing mentally, growing spiritually, growing physically. You know what I mean? But we have to be on one accord with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't, I don't know. You can't be one way about him and treat him like a kid, but then in another way you want him to be an adult. It just doesn't work. It confuses the mind more. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I like that, bro. I can get behind that because I mean, yeah, from birth, man. You hear it all the time. Oh, he gonna 18 years gonna blink like that. That's gonna be a man, or this and that. And it's true. Like that's what we're supposed to do. Is in that time frame that we have them, we have to set them up and prepare them because when you think about the sands of time, bro, there's only but a few speckles of that where you're a child. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit is spent as an adult. So are you going to be a healthy adult at right when you leave the nest? Are you going to be a shitty adult having a hard time figuring it out until you're in your 30s and then there's your prime gone? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like it's our job as parents to do that. And so when you say friction with your your significant, or not necessarily the significant other, but your parent, the other parent.
Start those rumors.
Right. Woo. Let me correct. I'll stay corrected. Not significant other. All right, the other parent. Listen, I have friction with my other parent too, and it's not that I want it, but our history has been allowed to be a little thicker than the need to take care of our child, and that shit sucks, man. Because the only one that suffers is the kid. They're in the middle of that shit.
Yeah.
And so dad is saying one thing, mom is saying another. Kid's like, okay, well, who's right? Well, it should never be a matter of who's right. None of that is relevant because we're supposed to be a team. If the kid was conceived in a plan together, then the kid should be taken care of in a plan together. So all the extra shit shouldn't fucking matter. But some people get, a little extra, and you know how that goes, man. It's tough, man. When you have a parent you don't agree with, when you have a parent you look at and you guys are fighting on site kind of shit. You know what I mean? Like it sucks, dude. It makes it real hard to parent together, to co-parent. And I will tell you, man, if you have a parent that has any ounce of intelligence, man, communicate and talk. Don't allow the government, don't allow the court system to get in your business. It's not necessary. Take care of that kid, man, and understand and really research the word compromise, because you have to do that every now and then. And compromise doesn't mean they get all of what they want or you get nothing at all kind of shit. Compromise is something right in the middle, the sweetest it can be, and that's that, because the kid is the only fucking priority. And I'm talking from a mode of passion right now, man, because I'm in the middle of that shit right now. And it's heavy, bro. That's a heavy weight. And it's a weight I don't want to carry. I don't want that weight on my shoulders. But I have to, unfortunately, because I can't co-parent with the other parent. And so, getting myself to a point in life where co-parenting could be a thing. Well, I mean, that window is closing because my son is going to be 15 this summer. You know what I mean? And then after that, it is what it is. So for all those parents that have got young ones and you guys aren't communicating, get rid of the friction, get over your ego, get over yourself. You know what I'm saying? And work together, man. Set up a plan for that kid, because if you raise a shitty adult, then you're a shitty adult yourself. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. You know what I mean?
I'm like on the other end of the spectrum. I'm like completely frictionless, which it's a blessing, but it's in the same vein though. I kind of wish I did have like a co-parent, even if someone that I do like disagree with from time to time, because I'm not going to be right 100% of the time, and I don't want my son to have only just one perspective, right? So like, I'm going to do my best to raise him the best I can, but it would be nice to have that partner, or that other parent to give their 2 cents, right? And say, hey, Brian, I don't think this is right, or oh, I think you were a little harsh right there, or maybe you're being too lenient right now. I think we should approach it this way. So just having that someone to help balance me out. I don't want him to have 100% Brian, and that's it. So everything, um, so I do wish I did have a little bit of an opposing force, not too much of an opposing force, but someone that he can look at as that other parent figure that he can get advice from, or someone that I could bounce off of, and say, hey, this is what's concerning me, or this is what I think about this, or it would be nice to have that. I don't want to just go, project all of my thoughts and feelings and attitudes onto him, without having some other perspectives that he can grab from, other influences, should I say, because like the number one influencers in a child's life are their parents. So, he's getting like all one. So I'm doing the best.
Right there, man.
Yeah, I'm doing the best to give him, all of the best of me, and like none of the worst of me.
None of the worst. Yep. And you've got to be extra diligent with that duty, bro. Because you're right. Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. You don't have that friction, as we say. And that creates it tips the scale and more in your favor, which is a good thing because you're mindful. You're intelligent enough to know that, okay, now this is up to me. I can't give him any of the bad things. So you've got to kind of take a step back and be your own critic in that sense. But the good thing is too, you have your own mom and dad to example from. You have your brother who's living it right now. You can example from, and I'm sure you've got friends that may have young ones too. And so pulling those resources, man, like that's so important. But having another parent is a good thing, and not only that, man, a mom and a dad like that. Listen, everything you can learn from a woman is important. Everything you can learn from a man is important. You know what I'm saying? So when you bless a child with both of those perspectives, yeah, you got a chance to raise someone that's going to do some good. You know what I'm saying? You give them a better chance to be well equipped to handle this world we're living in. Things are changing so fucking quick, man. New studies, new research, new this, new that. Like, it's cool to have, someone else kind of chime in, and you're right. Yeah, hey, that was harsh, man. And then you can analyze and kind of prepare yourself going into next time, because you might not analyze it until next time is already here. And then you're like, shit, how do I handle this? Well, you didn't give yourself enough time to prepare. And you know what I'm saying? With another party involved, you have that opportunity a little bit sooner, kind of thing. So that's a good point, bro.
It is actually pretty cool that we get like this middle perspective right here from Brian, because Brian's like a rare case. Like, I can tell you, I feel completely opposite of Brian. Okay, like if I could have had my boys and they moms, walked away, like bye. Okay, we got this. We straight. All right. I know y'all not gonna give me that much of a headache. Just go. Okay.
Right.
But
right.
I mean, you know what though? They say human nature, yo. We want what we can't have. You know what I'm saying? I unfortunately fortunately, my boys had me in their mother. Broken family as it is. They had both of us, you know what I mean? But in my head it was pretty fortunate too if it was only me. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
I felt at a point, man, but parenting is not easy, bro.
Nah, definitely not. So yeah, just again, any parents out there, whether you're a single parent, whether you're a parent involved with the other, or you got a broken home, whatever the case may be, man. Just sit the ego down, man, and just really try and communicate with yourself too. You know what I'm saying? Think if you did something, think on what you thought on, like what you did. Don't just assume, oh yeah, I did the best thing I could. No, man, really analyze that shit. I find myself doing that every day. And I'm a parent, man, and I've been a parent for many years, and I still find myself having to hype myself up in the mirror, like, yo, I'm gonna say this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna prepare myself. I got the whole speech down. This is how I'm gonna drop it.
Man.
Yeah,
You're the only one, bro.
right.
I'm trying to listen to what I'm about to tell my kids sometimes too, bro.
Yeah, I'll be sitting there preparing it, saying it out loud, and thinking, oh, okay, if I say this, he's gonna say this back, so I'm gonna respond this way. Like I really go through those motions, man. Because I'm dealing with a human being. I'm really dealing with an individual. I'm dealing with someone that's got the best parts of me, and I'm hoping the best parts of the other parent. And so I have to talk to him in that regard, like he is always able to be improved upon. You know what I'm saying? And I have to make sure that he stays willing. So yeah, I have those dialogues in my head, man, where I want him to be great, man. I don't want to be in my 40s and 50s always concerned with my son. No, I want to wait for him to call me and be like, "What? Guess what, Dad?" And I'll be like, "What up, bro? Like, what's going?" Like, I'm looking forward to that, not the negative. And I know negatives are coming; that's inevitable. But I want him to be equipped to handle them too.
You know what, heck, man? I actually spent the day with one of my little cousins recently. Yeah, man. He ended up spending the whole day with me, right? And we were hanging out, and this is a young man where, like, by the end of the day, we was good all day up until his mom came here. You know how kids like to show out a little bit when their mom's around, right? And then I end up basically having to, like, reprimand him for it. And he got so upset that, like, this kids crave structure. That's the thing. People don't understand. Kids, they crave structure. They act all crazy. They test you. They want to see how far they gonna go. They're gonna poke you in your forehead if you don't. You know what I mean? If you don't tell them to stop, they're gonna keep doing it. That's kids.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's how we learn. That's how we test the waters. But they do crave structure, and my little cousin was like, he was basically not listening. I had to reprimand him. He got upset. Then I seen them behaving in a way even further when they was about to pull off in the car, and I went back in there and I reprimanded them again. And I just told him, like, yo, that's not how a young man's supposed to act. You know what I mean? Because I believe, young man, bro, don't be throwing nothing at your mom. Don't be hitting your mom. Like, you ain't doing nothing, but you're gonna become more powerful. So you need to be watching yourself from now. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? That's why you gotta, like, when they throwing their little tantrums, they swing at, yo, you're supposed to reprimand them. You're supposed to correct them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've seen, I've heard too many stories about, like, parents, they raise their kids to a certain point, spoil the hell out of them. There's a lot of us spoiled out here, but to a different extent. You know what I'm saying? Then they hit 18, 20. They just let these young men out into the world, and they know, like, these kids aren't fully, like, I don't know. They just let them off into the world, and they know their kid is problematic, but they just develop this attitude where, like, I raised the best I can. Like, he's somebody else's problem. Then it ain't nothing until the cops knocking on your door looking for your son. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we have to do the correcting now. You know what I'm saying? You think when they hit 18, the problem, that's somebody else's problem, or you ain't gonna have no problems no more. But yo, the possibility still lies. Like, yo, they'll come. The cops, they can't find your son does something. The kid do something, and the cops looking for him. They can't find him. Who house you think they coming back? They coming to mama house. You know what I'm saying? They coming to papa house. Like,
yeah.
So, yo, the kids must be, like, you know what I mean? They must understand certain things, you know what I mean? It's our job as parents to get them to understand it. It don't always have to be by unnecessary force or nothing like that, but we have to get them to understand, like, yo, we live among other people. You have to respect other people. You know what I'm saying? When you're out there. You know what I'm saying? You can't go around causing people to harm, be it physical, be it mental, be it harm from the heart. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to keep we're young, we break hearts when you're young, you know what I'm saying? But it's not a habit you want to continue to have, to keep up. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta train your kids on these things. You gotta try to teach them something. You gotta try to put something in them. Like today, the younger the better.
Yep.
The younger
Yeah.
the
Hell
better.
yeah.
The harder the older they get, the harder it is to get through to them, man. You know how hard. You know how hard it is to get my son off this game and in the damn phone. You know, even to go to just to go to bed. I'm like, yo, bro, man, we about to start putting this stuff out in the hallway after a certain time. This is crazy.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? You're going to sleep with the game on, the TV on, you know what I mean?
Oh
The lights
man.
on, the phone's still in your ear. You still on Discord? They talking to you while you sleeping? You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Yeah, they too conveniently plugged in, man. And they unplug themselves from reality sometimes with that shit. So yeah,
Yeah,
it does make it harder, man. Especially if you don't get the message across early, forget it. Forget it. Yeah. And I like what you said earlier, Frank. Other people's problem. You know what I mean? When you say other people's problem, that means that person is not accountable. And that's what we are, right? We are a podcast accountability podcast.
yeah,
We
man.
practice it, we preach it, we observe it in all the ways we can, and we learn from it. You know, we move in that regard. And you know, I see a lot of people have absolutely failed because look at all the shitty adults running around, right? That's because there was shitty parenting being done. Like it starts at home. I'm a firm believer of that. All problems start at home. Because if you don't have parents talking to your kids about the hard shit, the delicate shit, the shit that needs to be taken seriously, like then that kid will never have an understanding of what accountability is. So if they made a mistake, they're going to go on thinking that wasn't their fault. That's somebody else's problem kind of shit.
Yeah,
And with that mindset, we have a society of broken people, man. People unwilling to participate, people unwilling to become better. And that's a failure that starts at home. You know what I'm saying? Now, not to say that adults are, obviously an adult is responsible for their own choices. But if you equip your kid with the know-how to make the right choices, you won't have a problem. You know what I'm saying? You've got to really drill that into them early. You know, what is okay, what is not okay. And a lot of the shit, they figure out along the way, man. But ultimately, that's an accountability thing, man. Like if my son were to go out and be a complete asshole, well, at this point, you know what? No, I am trying daily to prevent that because I know how easy it is to make a stupid mistake. And so I'm going to approach everything in the way I can to make him understand, you know, be accountable, be responsible. You know, you first and foremost have to take care of yourself. And with anything left over, to make an attempt to take care of someone else or everyone else if you can, but you first. And when you have children, focus on those good things, those positive growth methods. You know what I'm saying? Educate them, teach them, read to them, like open their minds, let them explore, let them figure out, let them try new things. And that's where I'm at right now, letting my son do all sorts of things to really understand, like, okay, when I come into adulthood, man, I got to pick that thing and run with it. I got to be the best version of me kind of shit. There's a lot of ways to go wrong, man. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of ways to do it right too. You got to find that one that works for you. And accountability is a big deal. So anything, you know, I stayed up late playing on the phone or playing on the computer, and I was up in Discord, and I got to get up at 5:00 in the morning to go to school. Well, yeah, that sucks. That's a
yeah,
natural consequence. You wanted to stay up late and you had to get up early. Tough, but are you going to keep doing it? Are you going to learn from it? You know what I'm saying? So you got to use everything you can as a teaching moment, man, to allow them to grow, to be accountable for real.
You know, man, we was all kids once, man. We know that kids. When we were kids, man, we learned from what we heard. We learned from what we seen. You know what I mean? And we learned from what we felt. Right? We learned from what we felt. So I want to say that to encourage any father, like, yo, I don't care if the court told you only get freaking 30 minutes a day. You know what I'm saying? 30 minutes a weekend to go see your kid. Yo, go have the best 30 minutes with that kid.
Yep.
Because they remember that. You think it's just a little brief moment in time. But if you've seen this kid every Saturday for the past 5 years, this kid's gonna say, yo, I see my dad every Saturday. Like, he ain't even gonna be worried about the 30 minutes. I see my dad every Saturday.
Yep.
Regular stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so I want to encourage you, even if it's a little bit. If that's all you can give it. You know what I mean? Be there. You know, be there, because being there is a big part. They see that, they feel that. If you're there with love, they're gonna feel that love, even if it's there for the 30 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I
And
agree.
not only that, if you're never there to show them another way, then the only way they're gonna know is whatever way the other parent is
The other
teaching.
parent
That's
is
the
saying,
only way
yep.
they're gonna know. Even if you
Yep.
give them a little, if let's say if the other parent teaches a lot of anger, just to keep it simple. If one parent, you have a parent that teaches a lot of anger, and you speak a lot of happiness, but you don't even go in your kid's life for that half an hour to show him what happiness is. Well, then you know he's gonna be an angry kid, like his parent. But if you're trying to come meet him in the middle, then maybe he might not be so angry. Maybe he'll be somewhere in the middle. Maybe he'll be a mild mannered kid. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just don't
Right.
piss him off. You know?
Oh, that's
So,
real. That's
yo,
real.
if you can give your child, if they tell you one day, man, go give your child that day, man. Give it to them consistently. Consistency is key.
Yep.
Consistently, so.
Oh, that's true. I like it, man.
Man.
And I wish, man, I knew all what I know now then. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he was able to walk, I would have, man, let's go, dude.
Hey, man,
Everything.
don't worry, man. I think the guy from Amazon working on the restart button for us right now, man. I heard he was trying to
Oh,
make
man.
a time machine or something like that.
Woo, sheesh.
Like, all right, send me back, man. I want to keep on my knowledge, but send me back.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. That'd be wild, bro.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah,
That'd
so
be
you
wild.
know what, heck, man, let's take this
Yeah,
moment. I'm
happen
gonna
right
move
now.
on. I'm gonna move on, man. This is the last week of Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the last week of Black History Month, and you know what? I did want to share something exciting before we go. Like, you know what I mean? And I wanted to find something out of the ordinary to share too. And Brian and I here, we're both boxing fans. My brother introduced me to this boxing documentary called Murderers. What is it called, Brian?
Black Murderers Row.
Black Murderers Row, right? And Black Murderers Row is about basically like a list of boxers that kind of went unnoticed. So they never, like, you know, I guess in a sense they kind of didn't make history, but they were great all the same. They were avoided by some of the greats of their time. You know what I'm saying? So it was a really interesting documentary to listen into. I know Brian got a little more details on some of the stories there, man. Let's see if Brian can get us started with that, man.
Yeah, you know, it's available for anybody to watch. It's on YouTube. The name of the channel is Champside. So, you know, anyone who's interested in boxing, you know, Champside is one of the best on YouTube. So, you know, check them out.
I like Champside too. He's talking like shit, but I like him.
Yeah, you know, he put a lot of time and energy into that documentary, and he did a great job, you know, talking about these guys and, like, you know, the footprint that they left on the sport of boxing. You know, and since I'm, you know, an avid boxing fan, like, you know, I definitely wanted to check it out. And you know, Black Murderers Row is basically, there's the 8 fighters that were basically like avoided by the champions of their time, and you know, a lot of the top names, like, you know, and they all like fought each other like a total of like 72 times, I believe it was.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like,
Boxing was a lot different too. I'm sorry to pause you, but boxing was a lot different back then, Hector, man. Like these great boxers, even the great ones had wins and losses, like, and they fought like 7. I think I've heard one of them was like 13 times these dudes had a match. 13 times, though.
I
You know
love
what I
it.
mean?
So let me ask you this, B, before you go on further. You said about 72 fights. Do you mean 72 fights amongst these 8 men?
Yeah, so, like, you know, between the 8 of them,
Yeah.
it was a total of like 72 fights. So, like, you know, like
Wow.
Frankie said, I think it was Herbert Hardwick and Burt Little fought each other like 13 times or something like that.
Damn, man.
Yeah, they
Man,
said,
I love that.
nobody else will fight them.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, they ended up fighting each other like a whole bunch of times, you know. I think he also fought Charlie Burley a bunch of times. He fought. I gotta look up the names now.
Yeah.
I got the names in front of me. Because as soon as you
Yeah.
said,
There was one named Little, right? There's a guy in there named Little, right?
Yeah.
Burt
So
Little.
let me just go ahead and say this. These guys in their time, some of these guys in their time, they were like glitches in the Matrix. You know what I mean? These guys, and then there was like also like I can't remember that other champion name, but like where everybody was living under this kind of like, you know, slavery kind of thing. There were certain black people, there were certain black boxers that like they'll come to the city, but I ain't no slave. Like, you know what I mean? And you just you couldn't treat them that way. They wouldn't allow you to treat them that way. Like it was almost like a air of confidence that they had with them that like people just knew like, yo, this guy can't be like a slave. Like, you know what I mean? And there was one of the guys there. His name in this documentary. His name was Little, something Little, and I have no idea. I can't remember why he ended up in the military.
Yeah,
Burt Littell. Yeah,
Burt
his
Littell.
real name is Calvin Coolidge Little.
He was the one that was named after
the president, Calvin Coolidge. Yeah,
the president, right? Yeah. So that dude, I don't know how he ended up in the military, but he ended up going to the military, and I guess it really wasn't for him. This guy ended up spending most of his time in the military in the hole for like being like kind of rebellious. Like, you know what I mean? He didn't like really listen to orders. He used to take off with the truck. Like, so he used to end up in the hole. And he ended up serving like his whole time there. And that's where he also learned the box, was in the when he was like in jail and stuff for the military. And like they did him so dirty. Like by the time he finished, he ended up doing his whole thing in the military. But they did like dishonorably discharged him, so he can't get like any of the money or anything like that. So
so he didn't have a funeral plot. He didn't have a pension. So he didn't have a pension or a funeral plot. You know, things that they used to offer to soldiers in the military. Like Frankie said, he spent a whole lot of time in the brig because he was just like insubordinate. He would steal the truck, profanity. I don't know. There was a list of stuff, but it basically boiled down to insubordination.
Yeah.
So after his contract was up, they let him go. Dishonorable discharge.
So now boxing's a lot more refined now than it used to be back in the day, but there used to be a lot of bribery and stuff going on. So what used to really end up happening with these fighters here, a lot of these fighters on this Black Murderers Road list, is that, you know, people will come to them and want them to take a dive or a bribe for a fight, and these dudes wouldn't accept the bribe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you put them in the ring with me, I'm putting them down. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
So then those fighters started going like avoided, and you hear stories about like the great Sugar Ray Robinson in there being one of the people avoiding some of these fighters. Jake LaMotta avoiding some of these fighters. Like they talked about Archie Moore fighting some of these guys. Archie Moore, I think it might have been Little. I can't remember if it was Littell too. Archie Moore fought one of these guys who was like significantly like lower than him in weight. No, it wasn't Archie Moore. It was some other guy. Some other heavyweight guy fought one of these guys that was like a welterweight, and then ended up getting knocked out. Right? And when he woke up, he was like he said that little son of a gun. He hit me with a left hook, and next thing I know, I woke up in the hospital. Yo, those guys was real. Those guys were real different about fighting and stuff too, and they were real honest when they talk. Like when they fought against the fighter and stuff like that. It wasn't like a bunch of like I don't know, like a lot of this back and forth nonsense that be going on now, man.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at the list, bro, and I'm seeing Charlie Burley looks like he earned his way to the top of this list of the most feared fighters.
Charlie had Burley, he's the one who fought a heavyweight.
Yeah,
83, like 70 pounds
heavier. Damn.
Yeah, he fought a guy like 70 pounds heavier, and
Gee,
the
that's
guy
a
was
lot.
like, "That little son of a gun hit me with a hook, and I woke up in the dressing room."
Yo, Charlie Burley had an 83, 12, and 2 with 50 KO record. That's a lot. That's
Yeah, man.
crazy. That is crazy.
Man.
And he welterweight, middleweight, light heavy. So yeah, dude, that's cool, man. Because like this list, I'm looking at a little bit on all these guys, and yeah, you guys, as you guys had said it says it in this little list I pulled up. A lot of the champions of their day avoided them, and
Yeah.
obviously for damn good reason,
Like
because
Sugar Ray Robinson, you know,
yeah,
he
you
said,
got this.
I'm too pretty to be fighting Charlie Burley."
I'm too pretty to fight him.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's damn.
So he said that junk straight up to a reporter. That's what he said. I'm too pretty to be fighting Charlie Burley, man.
Dude.
So yeah, if you guys get a chance, man, yo, check that one out, man. It was really interesting. It was exciting to watch. Yo, and this like imagine Black history, right? There's so many things that went down that went unspoken. Like so when Black history come up, like one of the things I actually did enjoy was that like when we were in school, they used to make us pick a person and go research them. You know what I'm saying? And like going and finding this boxing documentary reminded me of that. It felt like I just went and did some research on Black History Month or something, and dove into something and found something exciting. So, yeah, if you guys get a chance, man, Champ Side, Black Murderers Road, really good documentary, man. I really enjoyed it. He put it together really well. Funny guy, man.
Yeah,
So,
a lot of these guys,
yeah,
they have interesting stories. Like, if you just watch the documentary and he gives you some of their background, like their upbringing and everything, like a lot of these guys, they can make movies based off of these characters. Actually, one of them, if you've ever seen the movie Fences with Denzel Washington, or the play that the movie was based off of, one of those fighters was the inspiration for the main character, because the playwright was neighbors with the fighter, and I believe it was Philadelphia, right? I believe it was Philadelphia. I'm gonna have to check it again, but
Okay.
yeah, and he said about that fighter, like that was the first example of a man that he knew, like growing
Damn.
up. Yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, it was really cool. Like he ended up like after his boxing career was over, he was like a garbage man. So
Jeez.
I guess after retirement, he didn't have like a whole lot of money left or anything like that, and he was like he was working in waste management until he retired from that. So like and he he said like when he went to go, when he went and visited their house, like he would like rub his knuckle on their head or whatever, and it would hurt, but you can't say nothing about it.
Right.
Like
right.
it was pretty cool.
that little tall dude ended up killing somebody in the ring, man. I think there was 2 boxers on there that ended up killing off. Wow, I didn't get all the way through the documentary, but I heard about 2 stories. Littell, the Littell dude, they said he was really good, but after he ended up killing that dude, he started like pulling his punches, like in fights. Like he would rock somebody, but then he wouldn't go in for the kill kind of thing. Like so.
Damn, yeah, that'd be something heavy to live with, man. You do this as a profession. You do this as a means to prove yourself and find a place for yourself in this world. But I doubt that they hardly ever go in there really looking for blood to kill someone. I don't imagine that's you go in with that mind frame to really put someone down like that. Yeah, you want to knock them out and seize them from fighting, but not in that regard, So
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm just kind of browsing through the list, man, and yeah, I'm curious, bro. Like there's one guy, the Coco Kid, like the Cocoa Kid, I think is what they call him. Dude had 178 win record. Like holy shit, like this
used to be fighting like once a week, bro.
dude.
Oh yeah. Back then, yeah, guys were fighting like every other week.
Dude used to be fighting like once a week, bro.
You look at it now, shit. They schedule the fight now. We'll see you this time next year. You know what I mean? Like, sheesh, it's
Yeah,
great.
for
It's
nowadays,
different.
guys only fight like 2-3 times a year max.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely different now. But
Mm.
yeah, Coco Kid, he had a crazy record too, like 170 something wins, like 59 losses or something like that,
Yep.
right? And 11
Yeah,
draws.
178, 58 losses, 11 draws with 48 KOs.
Yeah,
The
Coco
Coco
Kid.
Kid,
Kid, man. That sound like a name that shouldn't have been around in that era, man. That name stood out to me when I seen it. Coco Kid, like
it stood out to me too. And apparently his mom, it looked like his mom was Puerto Rican, and then his dad was African American. But I guess he
his
was the
dad
only
was in the
one.
Navy,
Yeah.
and he was on a ship that disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. I saw that on here too. Yeah. That's wild, man. Yeah, these some interesting looking stories here. Like just seeing the records, seeing these guys, and then what this article is like trying to paint them with their little backstory, man. It looks like something worth watching, bro, for real.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely.
We creeping up on that 1 hour mark real quick, bro. We got like
Oh
9
wow.
minutes left, man.
Yeah, we did. I
Got like
don't know how
9
that
minutes.
happens, bro.
Yeah, man. I was actually hoping we give that Will a spin today, honestly, man. I don't know how we got carried away with one of these conversations, man.
Oof. I mean, we could still spin the wheel. I'm not against it, man. We go for 5-10 minutes. It ain't gonna hurt nobody, right?
Yeah.
And you
Go
do like
ahead, man. Let's see what we get, man. Let's spin that
do a
Will, man.
quickfire.
let me.
You still got something to show us at the end of it?
Oh, I do. Yeah. So we got a few topics in here, man. So I'm gonna just get right to it. I'm gonna just go ahead and click and spin, and let's see what's up. Let's see what happens. Oh, you brought this one up a little while back, though.
Oh,
Harm?
okay. The fear of harming as we age, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, bro.
The fear of harm as we age.
So you mean just like getting hurt physically?
Yeah, getting hurt as we get older. Yeah, like are you
Like you know what? I'm gonna go ahead. Let me see. I think I can start off with like, all right. One of the fears of harm as we age. Like one thing I remember is like when in like maybe like mid-20s or so, like that, something like that. Like a time where I took a break from the basketball court. I don't know how long, bro, but it was years, right? And like getting back on the court, the thought used to be like, yo, I can't go hard because I got work tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I mean that was all that automatically like became like a fear of mine, like I don't want to get hurt and not be able to go, walk into work kind of thing. But other than that, yo, bro, honestly, man, healing is not the same, bro, mid-30s, man. Healing is not the same
that's true.
mid-30s. Like when I was like fresh in my 20s, yo, bro, I used to go to the gym. I used to like, I don't know, bro. I used to hurt something, sprain something, go to sleep, wake up, bro, and back at it again. Like it used to feel like nothing. You know what I mean? Nowadays, like, bro, something happened, I'll be down for like 3 days, man.
Yeah.
At least. Be down for like 3 days, man.
Yeah,
so
the healing process definitely takes a lot longer now.
Yeah.
When you're in like your early 20s, like in a way, you kind of feel like you're invincible. Like, yeah, sure, you could get hurt, but no, it's like Frankie said, you probably be down for like a night or something. You shake it off, whatever. But now, I don't even want to get a paper cut on my finger. It's gonna take days to heal.
For real. Oh man, and I do feel like as we age, we're a little bit more sensitive to that because your 20s. Oh, okay, I'm going back. This paper cut ain't nothing. When you're in your 30s, shit, I'm using my hand for everything, and now I can't use his hand. You start to coddle yourself in a way, man.
Feel some hot water touch your finger. You're like, I forgot.
Yeah. You know what, man? I'll tell you, every winter, bro, every winter, and it was crazy. In my 20s, I don't think I felt this at all. I didn't feel anything at all. Like I can't say I was ever a huge fan of winter. Like when we were kids, I used to like playing in the snow. But the older I got, the less I like it.
Yep.
I get more like I don't know, polar bearish. Just want to stay in the house, like grizzly bearish, should I say? Want to stay in the house winter time. But now, like since I've hit like 30, I feel like every winter comes, I could feel like a slowdown in me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, just like, yo, bro, I ain't gonna be able to jump as high as I did last summer kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? And I honestly feel like I'm starting to feel like it has a lot more to do with inactivity actually than like getting older though, right? Because again, getting older, it's like a lot more snap, crackle, pop going on, right? If you just move your arm, like you know what I'm saying? But I'm realizing like when I get back, when I'm getting active and I'm staying active and I'm moving and stuff like that, you don't hear the pops as much. You know what I mean? It's like it's a movement, stretching, doing a little bit of yoga. All of these are like a form of like lubricating your ball joints. You get what I'm saying? Yo, nothing in this world is like, in a sense, almost ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, we got cars right now that are, meant to get us around. But before cars, for mobility, we had our bodies. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? In order to operate a car, there's certain motors and stuff that needs to go into a car. For us to operate, there's certain parts that goes into us for to move. So to me, in a sense, a car is almost modeled after the human body, right? But with cars, there's wear and tears. Just because your car starts to squeak a little bit when you turn, don't mean you don't have a good car. But it do means you need to start doing your oil changes a little more, re-lubricating them ball joints. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean you're no longer no good. Don't mean you don't have your strength no more. But you do need to stay active and get them get them muscles moving. You know what I mean? If you don't, I know this is something I've been saying a lot lately too. But if you don't use it, you lose it.
That's true.
If you don't use it, you lose it, bro. There's a lot of like genetic freaks out there right now, bro. I watch a lot of MMA, right? They got this dude, what's his name? Yoel something. He's like 40
Romero?
something. Huh?
Romero?
Yeah, like Romero. He's like 40 something years old, bro, still fighting, look like a beast. There's this other dude, this big African dude. I believe he's over 42. This dude he big like a bodybuilder. He could do splits like a like freaking John Claude Van Damme, like you know what I'm saying? And I know it has to. And, of course, I watch a lot of like I tell you guys all the time. I watch a lot of the calisthenics and like the guys, these people that are like 70 years old, 60, 80, and they're still doing calisthenics, doing all the static holds I haven't even all picked up yet. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So these things are like, I mean, I see a lot of us are kind of even in our 30s, mid 30s. Some of us seem a little more run down than others. Like you know what I'm saying, a little more like inactive. But I don't think it's too late. I don't think your 30s is too late. Honestly, I watch videos of people in their 50s getting started, 59, and he's doing ninja moves and stuff like that. This guy I seen. So I don't think it's not too late to start getting back active, to start moving. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely a lot more fear that comes along with like getting hurt in your 30s, man. But I'm pretty sure if you kept up, if you kept moving, if your body was always prepared, you never let your body go to sleep, your body probably still be healing like it was in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel.
Yeah, no, I agree. I being in my age, I'm 36, man, and I'm coaching and going out there to coach and run around. Oh, which by the way, I might have touched on this with you, Frank, but I didn't tell you, Brian. Like today was our last game for volleyball for my son's league. And it was the best game, man. We had such a great time, dude. It was so good. And I'm out there running around with them, hitting the ball, kind of doing all that too. And I could feel my heartbeat a little bit more than normal, and I'm thinking, this is a good feeling, man, because like it reminds me I'm alive. I'm not dead yet.
Yeah.
And I'm signing my son up. I moved him up a division, so he's going to be playing in a high school league. A few months earlier than he's supposed to be, which will be competitive. But I'm going to be the lucky one coaching him. So
Yeah.
I signed up for that, and I'll be teaching him and some 9th through 12th graders some more, getting them a little bit more prepared too. And I'm really looking forward to that because I do have a fear of harm as I age, but at the same time, like, that's not going to be enough fear to make me stop entirely. And I look at my girlfriend Kate, for a lot of inspiration because she's in her 30s and she's ice skating. I mean, like, on the ice, picking her foot off the ground and balancing on one skate, and like, one spill from that, you're breaking something. You know what I'm saying? That shit is intimidating, man. But she gets out there, she does it, and I get to go watch her do that. It's so cool, man. So like, the fear of harm, it exists, man. But I mean, I guess it's as heavy as you allow it to be, Obviously, you got to be mindful of your body and know what you can and can't do, but only you can feel that. And like my dad, this man is in his 50s, and just last year he was part of a Taekwondo Masters tournament. Like, you keep yourself healthy, you be good for a long time, man. Like you said, Frank, the you gotta keep yourself lubricated. The ball joints got to be lubricated, so you keep yourself active. You keep your good intake going with food, water. Like, you'll be all right. But like, you start slowing down, you're gonna start slowing down. Like, that's gonna happen.
Because I'm more afraid of like accidental harm, right? Because like, I still like work out regularly and stuff. I go to the gym, I lift heavy, I even do like the high intensity, interval training. So like those HIIT workouts be kicking my ass sometimes. Like, I feel it in my knees and my other joints, but like, I guess since I expect it, it's fine. I know I can recover from it, no problem. I actually enjoyed the soreness a little bit because it's like they say, no pain, no gain, right?
Right.
But it's that like unexpected pain.
Fucking sneezing and your whole shit's locked up.
Oh, yeah, right.
All week, man.
Oh man, for real. Yeah, I feel like fear. We talked about this a little bit, but fear, having a healthy fear of something is a good thing. And as we age, you want to be a little bit more cautious. You want to be a little bit more mindful. So I feel like that fear is a healthy thing to respect. When it comes to being harmed at an older age, because it does take a little longer for the recovery. But you're not jumping out of airplanes and waiting until you're in 500 feet to pull the parachute. I think you'll be okay. Like, don't live life on the edge. You should be all right, man. And again, we all know our bodies better than anyone. So like, I know men in their 60s that go snowboarding and skiing. Like, I don't know that I'll ever do that, but like, that's cool for someone that can do that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, it comes with the territory, man. We got these bodies of ours, and like we were talking about being kids, man. You teach them right. Well, you teach your body right. You train your body right. You'll be better suited for a longer period.
Man, I was trying to say the opposite, bro. Man. Don't slow down. Like, don't slow down because you get older, man. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Take no, work out. You don't have to be a bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? Feel it.
Just moderation.
But that little bit of pain is gonna get you to be a better version of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be Arnold Schwarzenegger. You ain't gotta be, no huge bodybuilder, but do a little bit. Embrace the pain a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Because by being consistent, Hector, we probably fear pain because we slow down. Bro, I used to be out on the basketball court every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, then I leave off the court for freaking 8 years, and now I want to go back on the court. Like, I'm afraid to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Take a hard foul, you might be out
done.
For another 8 years.
For real, I see it, what you kids, man. I play too rough, man.
Oh man. That's good. That's true. That's true. Yeah, I agree with you, Frank. Don't have the fear for it, but respect it. Respect it.
Respect
Like,
it for sure. Yeah, man.
but yeah, don't let it stop you. Don't let it be the thing to stop you, man. Hell no. Keep going, man. You know what? Like, if you want to play basketball at an older age, there's older age leagues that you could play in with dudes the same age as you, with the same mileage as you. And you know what I'm saying? It'll be fair game kind of shit if that's your concern. You know what I mean? Like, but don't let it stop you, man. Don't ever do that. Because,
I just
like I said,
saw
I'm a kid at heart, man.
Me too,
I'll play
man.
at the playground.
I saw a clip of
Shit.
an old man playing basketball with his grandson and his friends. Yeah. He pulled an and one move on him.
I threw it up in the rim and did. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I used to love
because
watching N1.
he put the ball on the floor and pretended like he threw up a layup. So his grandson like jumped to block it,
Went up.
and then he picked up the ball and threw up the layup. I'm like, oh, he got him.
Sheesh.
He
Sheesh.
got played out by his grandpa. It was so
That's too
funny.
good, man. I love that. So, I'll move it into the mid journey because we definitely getting close to that point. But all the conversation we had, man, I made a prompt on the fly, y'all. I made something on the fly, man, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I could have tweaked it a little bit more, but I feel like it's suiting, man. So, we talked a lot about being kids and taking the time, and we talked about getting older and still trying not to be fearful of what time has done to us. And so I wanted to show something with an hourglass, kind of talking about time. But this is a really cool abstract piece here, man, because as you see,
I
you've
like the
got
way the
like,
way the road go all the way up there, man. That's kind of dope.
yeah, you got this globe, you got this, like, it looks like some civilization, you got all sorts of shit going up on there. The sand's pouring down, but at the bottom is the child. It looks like a child down there to me, which, like, yeah, just because we get older don't mean we got to lose sight of our inner youth and our that vigor we have within, you know what I'm saying, and that charismatic personality, that go get it attitude. Just because time passes don't mean we have to lose that. And this is a really cool depiction of that, man. As time progresses, man, we still get to be children at the end of it all, when the sand comes down the glass.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like this is a pretty good mid-journey rendition of the conversation, man. I'm happy with that. So
Heck, about to go ahead and close this out, bro.
I'll do that, man. Yeah, that hour went quick, man. We was worried about it at first, but I knew it was gonna fly, man. I knew it was gonna fly.
Conversation be picking up, bro. We just be picking it up sometimes, man.
Now don't even want it to end. Oh man, but yeah, fellas, always good conversation, bro. And I'm definitely gonna check out the Black Murderers Row, man. That looked like, at least at the very minimum, 8 pretty cool stories to kind of understand, and and again, attaching that to the Black history, man. This episode will probably release already when it's not February, but we close it out in a good way, man. And I feel like we kind of did our part, kind of bringing some Black history love in here, and American history too. Again, we talked about that Black history being American history, so I feel like we all kind of got a piece of that. So it just felt cool, man. All the conversations this month leading to that.
Yeah.
And I look forward to next week, though. So with that said, for all y'all that came through and let us borrow some time, we'll see you next week on PC of Mine. Much love, y'all.
One love.